You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
with so much life.
Just come on this way.
Not even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from before. Please send us another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppress us stay. So we children could see their way. Make them get on their knees and pray. Never be up to judgment day. Oh, just can't make it this way. Please deliver us today. Be like the Israelites believed. Please send us another Moses again. Lord, we just can't make it this way. Yes, deliver us today. Oh, we just can't go on this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Please listen to what I say. Yes, hurry up with judgment day. We just can't make it this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Must we get old and gray? And the children can't see their way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. We like the Israelites living there. Please send us another Jesus again. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Lord, we just can't go this way.
I say you get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. say you get up one morning and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that eagle eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. So we got up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we have to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jabbing, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that dragon eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking to get it there easy. He got to practice economy, from getting licked from the slave master to become the land owner. Brother, is a terrible journey, back with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to...
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who have the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you I thank the Most High for giving me the opportunity to spend this time with you. And I hope that with His help, we can have a very constructive dialogue here today. Again, thanks to all who have taken the time to be with us. I know there are other things you could have been doing, and you decided to spend some time with us here in the village. Welcome to the village. This is 95.9 FM, WZYE, in the village with Professor Wall Street and, of course, me, Uncle Tommy. I have a special guest tonight again, Isha Wells, who should be joining us shortly. But meanwhile, I want to apologize for those of you who couldn't get through on Tuesday. Hope today that it will be a lot easier and that you can get in and make your points. As a matter of fact, I'm going to open the lines right now. Whatever you have on your mind that you couldn't get out on Tuesday, you can chime in and let us know what's going on and what are your thoughts and what are some of the solutions that you are thinking of should work for some of the challenges we face, because there are many challenges we are facing in Trinidad and Tobago at this time. While I wait for your calls, I would play this track.
We gotta save it. Oh yeah, my sweet TNT. Oh yeah. We used to sing sweet, sweet Trinidad. To leave here, boy, you must be mad. This is the land of milk and honey, rum and coke and easy money. While those verses we were singing, alarm bells kept on ringing. Pundits on each pulpit saying, "Oh, heart and our soul decaying." Suddenly we wake up to a living nightmare, not bliss while editorials ask, how did we ever come?
Aisha, welcome.
How you doing, Tommy?
Quite good, and glad to see you again.
Thank
Happy
you.
that you, happy
Taking
that you took the time out. I like that hair piece that you have up there. What was that? A hat or
a wrap.
a wrap?
Yes.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome again. And
How is everything?
well, so far so good. Thanks to the Most High.
I see the American election is shaping up, what, almost a month ago or less than a month?
Yeah, it's less than a month.
Okay.
It's a matter of weeks now.
And how it looking? How it's shaping? Democrat, Republican, how it going?
Well, you never know until the Fat Lady sings. But for the most part, I know most people that I'm talking to supporting the Democratic Party. But then again, you could never tell, because the Republicans are making inroads, especially with young African Americans, which is surprising.
So I heard that the young black male community, the Republicans are making inroads there.
Yeah. I've been listening to some utterances, and I'm a little surprised. I guess they're too young to know better.
I also heard that Biden administration wrote off student debt loans today.
Yeah, well, he's been promising to do that, and I'm glad that he's taken that step, because it puts his candidate, who's Kamala, in a better position.
Yeah. So we'll wait to see how it goes. America is a superpower in the world, and whoever wins an American election, it will affect the rest of the world. So we look forward to see what decisions they make.
I fully agree. but still we have our superpower that we need to look at also and see what is really going on. I see Mr. Young is apologetic.
I understand this evening it came across the news that Minister Stuart Young has apologized. What's your take on it, Tommy?
Well, he's also a baby in the game, so he'll be making a lot of mistakes. It's what we want. Do we want him for leadership or not?
I also understand that the Speaker of the House decided that the apology was good enough in no uncertain terms and have decided to go nowhere with it. The opposition was planning to take it to the Privileges Committee, but it doesn't seem to be heading there.
I find the speaker to be very biased, or should I say, having a lean to one side more than the other. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, or are they supposed to be?
Tommy, when I spoke to you the last time, I told you the entire system needs an overhaul.
Absolutely.
Speaker should not, in my opinion, be a politically exposed person or someone who would have had some sort of political affiliation. That chair should belong to someone who does not hold that type of office. So as long as that chair belongs to someone who holds that type of office, you're going to get a one-sided ruling.
Well, so I guess it's going to be like that for a time to come.
So much is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. This morning, I woke up to the very sad news that a young man from the community of East Port of Spain, who I grew up with, and he's much younger than I, he's around the age of my first son, but he would have been murdered today while on his way to work. His name is Kenneth Pear, and I want to take the opportunity to send condolences to his mother, his father, who loved him dearly. That's the father Ibola.
Was he involved in nefarious activities, or
not that I know of? Not that I know of. I will say this: he is not the first of young men who would have lost their lives in similar circumstances from my community. He was on his way to work this morning. Gunmen waited for him while he was exiting his area, so to speak, and they opened fire on the car. We had something similar. Another young man was on his way to work. He lost his life. You know, someone was driving down the street to get a bag of ice for a week. He was shot and killed. It's just been a lot of senseless killings happening in East Port of Spain. And today, it really shook me that this child was a friend of my nephew, a friend of my son, and it's not that it's hitting home that shocks me, but it's the age that they are coming to their demise that is shocking me.
You know, what do you suggest as a resolution, a permanent resolution to this ongoing stress and devastation?
Tommy, I have a whole list of ideas, starting with taking out all the pests that cannot be rehabilitated in the community.
So there are
some that you cannot save. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. You know, they give you some of the most frivolous reasons when you ask them why they're involved in this lifestyle. So they'll tell you, well, oh God, the play's hard, I need a work. But you would give them a work, and what they do, they take the money and they buy guns. Some of them can't be rehabilitated. Some, however, can. And you have to be wise enough to know the difference between the two and address it from there. The community on a whole needs an overhaul when it comes to infrastructure and development. These communities are dilapidated, and they have been so since I was a child. And I bet it was so long before I was born. When I grew up in Laventille, the environment was one of love and respect for women, children, and elders. The boys had their bacchanal, but they never involved those brackets of people in it. This generation is not so fortunate to experience that. What we have is young men, children running around with guns and no proper guidance. And all they're doing is they're killing each other. And
how do you manage to keep your boys away from all this mayhem that's taken place.
So I moved my boys out of Laventille before they were old enough to be a part of what was happening. But we maintained a foothold in the community because my mother still lives there, my sisters still live there. So we would always go there on weekends, we would go there on weekdays, we would always be in the community. So while they lived outside of it, they were very well a part of it. However, for me, it was just showing them what was right and what was wrong. My style of parenting is very different. I believe in talking to my children. I beat them from time to time, don't get me wrong. I I believe in also bending the tree while it's young. But my style of parenting was one of talking. Like for instance, let me give you an example. When my boys were small and we used to see those trucks transporting prisoners on the bus routes, those amalgamated trucks that would be
Right.
passed with prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
I would show it to them from when they were small, 5, 6, 7. I'll tell them, I say, was those people going there? They would say no. I'd say, well, those are prisoners. And they say, Mommy, what are they doing in the truck? I say, they are going to court. So somebody can determine whether they can see their mommy and daddy again. I said, if you want to see your mother and father again, then you won't end up inside of that truck. So I would use these type of examples and I would talk to them where they could understand. I would see homeless people and I'll tell them, I say, these people are homeless because they did not listen to their parents. I'll always tell them the consequences of what we're seeing happening around us. So in my case, I believe God and my upbringing. I had my second son who I felt was a little more aggressive than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
And with him, I had to figure out what his initial problem was in order to address it and to get him to calm down. But it wasn't easy because no child is the same. Children are different.
True.
So you have to pay attention to your young one and you have to find a way to save your child because the way how young men are dying in Trinidad and Tobago, it is very scary. It is frightening to say the least. And I don't think those in authority know exactly how to address it.
Aisha, last session, you've been prompted to get back into the political arena. Have you given that any thought at all?
I have given it some thought. I've been thinking about it since the conversation started again 2 days ago. But like I said, for me, everything is divine intervention and timing. So while I may want to jump with every band that's passing, I also like to take it to God in prayer, meditate, fast, and see where He leads me. Because this can't be done without Him.
True.
And even if it is done without Him, I may not get the same results that I would want if He was involved. And my whole aim is to transform the community that I believe I owe so much to. The Laventille that these young men are growing up in now is not the Laventille that I grew up in. My community was a safe community. Ask anybody about the jail yard, Tommy. Ask anybody about the captains. It's a big yard. Long ago, we used to be a women's prison for young girls. The land was owned by the Catholic board. And the Catholic board, left the lands abandoned and people started to live in these developments. So the yard, it's a whole big yard and there are houses in the form of a square.
Right.
So as children, we would go down into the yard and we would play whole day. We had donk trees, we had mango trees, we had trees around where we didn't even have to eat. Once you're in the yard, you could pick at this, you could eat at that. We grew up like family. We would have kite flying, rounders, pan cups. My mother's friends, children used to be glad to come and play by us because the yard was always so big and it was a let go type of thing. You could wander off until whole day. Nobody would interfere with you. And this type of love until that we have now, it is not the same. These young men never will experience what we experience as children that mold us. And I want to be able to at least bring back some semblance of that to the community. I may not be able to take it back 30-something, 20-something years, but I want to make it safe where they can can grow and be creative, and they don't have to choose to be a part of a number, whether they want to be 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. That shouldn't even be a discussion for them. Not
True.
everybody might be academic. Fine.
We have a call coming in. Let's take this call.
Yeah, we can calls tonight to the public.
Aisha, hold your thought. It's your godson.
Okay, my godson.
Hello.
Hi, good night.
Good evening.
Good night,
Welcome.
Uncle Tommy.
Good evening.
Good night,
Good evening.
Queen of Talk.
How you doing,
Good night,
godson?
Uncle Wall Street. And all the viewers who look on. Since Aisha was on the program, they have a listenership. Everybody locked on the line and I'm busy. Well, Mr. Uncle Tommy.
Yes, sir.
I passed you Port of Spain yesterday and it don't come down there. Don't look like hell, you know. You see by the Washington watch the program, Washington fighting for it. It has some water that's settling in the road there for months. And like a raw species they're smelling. Through the apartment and there, like the AGC will come like they cutting the grass and thing again. I set that rubbish. Uncle Toby, so don't look at me.
Well, Aisha, you're on the ground. Maybe you could address KFC's concern.
KFC, what's your experience? What's your experience? Go ahead.
Hello?
I'll respond after. Go ahead, KFC. I'll respond after.
Yeah, but we know when the US was in power, the young men still get to the job that they pay in the building and maintain the departments and things in there. Bringing jobs to the community now, like. But that shooting never go on there. The tongue was going far a while, so the tongue come back while again, you know, Uncle Tommy. I shine up to understand. Greatest EPR number.
Yeah, but what about the law enforcement?
Right now, we don't even know who's police from Thief Tommy. From the time of police can be kidnapping men and people wearing legitimate police uniforms to carry on their raids and their kidnappings and their criminal activities. We don't know who's police from Thief. That's where we are, unfortunately.
It's sad. That's very, very, very sad. When you say you don't know who's who, it's sad.
I was trying to say to KFC when he was explaining what they are experiencing in Duncan Street and those areas. Unfortunately, KFC, people in those communities are sometimes contented with their living conditions. Because if they won't, the authorities will have no other choice than to do something about it. And that's as blatant and as real as it will get, because that would not be happening in any other community or Westmoreland or Valsane or those areas. They don't have those problems because the residents in those communities organize themselves and seek some type of representation, whether legal or otherwise, to make sure that their needs are addressed. In our community, we don't. We take it. So that's why you're going to have those type of problems on Duncan and on Nelson Street. We don't know how to organize ourselves properly. Sometimes
we don't know, or we choose not to.
Both, but sometimes protests work, and then sometimes you have to be a little more diplomatic in order to get responses. You'll get a better response, in my humble opinion, if you have a functioning community group working and you let them know, listen, if all you want to get support in this community, you have to come through our community group. And the community group lobby on behalf of the community. But what we have is some people who disgruntled, some people who getting through, and nothing is getting done.
Wow. You know, Aisha, I think that has been just to go in another direction. There's been a serious void in the fourth estate since you are off mainstream radio. You care to explain why it is you had to leave 91.9?
I didn't think it's a matter of having to leave, or rather than I felt my time was over. Not recently, but for a while I started to feel like I didn't want to be there. To me, my job, what I love to do, should feel welcoming. It should feel like this. I want to do this. And I started to feel for some time like I'm going there, I'm saying the same things, I'm talking to the same people, no real action is happening. You know, in my opinion, I am my biggest critic. So I started off radio doing investigative journalism. That's proven, are going on, you know, investigations. I am trying to figure out where missing children are. KFC can vouch me for this. We had a big maxi head down to Londonville to find a child who was missing called Leah Lamy a few years ago. And I started off doing that type of radio. I started highlighting different community issues, community microphone type of things. I started off doing that. And then I went into politics, and then my entire program became political. And it was hard to differentiate the politics from me when I started radio. So I was always at a clash with myself, Sometimes I want to say something, but because of my politics, I can't. It started to become a burden, a heavy-some burden for me. And I decided that it was time, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be me again. I wanted to talk about issues again. I wanted to talk to everybody again. I didn't want it to marginalize people anymore. I wanted to hear what was happening in a community. If a child missing, I want to be able to go down there and investigate. But as with everything, the politics followed me. So even in Hot Off the Press Networks, I still had to dedicate a day for politics because that's what people following me. They follow me to hear the politics. They follow me to talk the politics. And politics without works doesn't give results. I want to talk the politics too, but I want us to get results.
Right.
Yeah, I am not getting any younger, Tommy. I want to leave a legacy where people remember me for doing something good, not just talk politics and bacchanal all day.
I saw, and based on what you said last session, that your leanings with the Balize didn't work out. Are you still?
What, my political leanings, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still in that corner, or are you?
I have no desire to run for politics again under the PNM, in my view. I have no desire for doing it. I don't even know if I have a desire to return to politics. I don't know if I have that desire either.
Honestly, do you believe as an independent candidate you can make a difference?
Again, when the conversation was posed to me, the last time we were here, I said, being an independent candidate sounds good, it's all well and good, but when you have to go back to the same people who you did not want to associate with for help, how effective would you be? So, like I said, my thoughts are all over the place where politics is concerned at the moment. I haven't really narrowed or pinpoint anything yet, or pinpoint any direct path yet. But I will continue to watch what
the truth be told, you will have no choice but to work with everybody.
Yeah, and I would prefer it that way. Trinidad and Tobago belongs to all of us, and I don't think one set of people want to see the country rise and another set want to see it fail. I think all of us want it to be functioning properly. And if that's what we want, then we have to work together to get it done.
Do you ever envision yourself in the prime ministerialship?
No. Mr. Manning said governing a country like Trinidad and Tobago is difficult. I've never envisioned that.
Governing any country is difficult, but Trinidad is much more difficult because of the makeup.
Because of the makeup and the mindset, let us not forget the mindset. Trinidadians and Tobagonians are a very lackadaisical society.
More than lackadaisical, fickle, informed, easily swayed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to pry too much more into your politics, into your personal politics. But are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, but we need to fix the state of the security, though. The security, or should I say, the policing needs some urgent attention.
So let me ask you a question. You have lived outside of Trinidad and Tobago a lot longer than I would have. So you
Correct.
are looking at Trinidad and Tobago and seeing it from a different mindset than the average Trini who probably never lived away and never traveled. If you have to come back to Trinidad and Tobago and address the national security issue or national security arm of governance, where would you start, Tommy?
Well, first thing first, we need serious community policing. And when I say it, I mean boots on the ground. Even if it means mixing army with police, but we need boots on the ground. And we just don't need it for one day. We need it as a permanent fixture and 24 hours a day, especially in the hotspot areas, so-called hotspot areas. Because we saw what happened in New York. Remember New York, what one time was like a battle zone.
Yeah.
And look at how New York came back.
And they would, and some people would credit New York's transformation to Mayor Giuliani. Yeah?
I would say no. The policy that was put in place, safe streets, safe city, by Mayor Dinkins, is what Giuliani benefited off of.
Okay.
Because that safe street, safe city, which entailed putting boots on the ground, is what carried over into Giuliani's administration that worked out very well. And the thing is, the police, they weren't angry because they had to walk the beat. And on the beat they were very friendly. I remember. I remember on Nostrand we were at Blackfoot's mass camp because I was a Blackfoot in those days, and the cops would walk in every day. They would walk in. They'd walk in the yard. They'd walk into the basement where we had like a bar area and so on. And they wouldn't come menacing or upset or anything. They just make a friendly visit, and you wouldn't believe what they did. They eventually knew most of the names. When they come, they call you by your name because they remember your name. I don't know if they wrote it down in a book or what, but they remember the names, and they put the name to the face. The police, they stay on the beat around the clock in those days.
So community policing is one. If you're hearing the noise in the background, they're busting bamboo outside. It's getting close to Diwali holiday, and you hear a lot of that in my community. So
No
that
worries.
is what you're hearing.
Yeah, community policing is very important. What that does, it creates a bond between the police service and the community. You get to know who's who, and the police cannot be fearful of the citizenry. It seems as though the police are afraid of the citizens. I don't know why. I don't think there's any need for them to be. But that's why I said if they need to join their patrols, then you have to do mixed patrols. But when they patrol, they don't patrol. They're not supposed to be patrolling in a menacing way. They have to befriend everybody. Once they start doing that, then it'll be a lot easier to weed out the chaff from the wheat.
So after we address the community policing aspect, what are we going to do with our justice system that is crawling like a snail?
Well, we have to fix that too. We have to, we have night courts and so on. We have to get a swifter working system.
Well, then you're going to be mashing up the racket, because most people in Trinidad and Tobago know lawyers make their money by most times delaying matters, referring matters, or the longer a matter takes is the more money you have to pay a lawyer.
Well,
and unfortunately for us, a lot of politicians are lawyers. So who's going to start to amend that?
Well, we have no choice. The people have to decide. We have to make it be known that the public servants work for the public because they are public servants. So that means that they're supposed to be employed by the public. And if the public stands up and insists that things are being done in a certain way that benefits the public, then they're going to have to do what's right.
So after we deal with community policing and the justice system, are we going to reform the prison system, or are we just going to put them in there where they have access to a cell phone and call shots on the outside, or have prison officers, bringing cell phones and drugs for them? And how are we going to address the prison system?
Knowing that there are issues in these particular areas is the first line of business when it comes to correcting it. You have to know what the problems are to correct them. And if there are problems with the justice system and the correction system, we have to get the correction system working in the right way.
When you say the right way, how it's done where you're from?
Well, I have Sergeant Ramsey, who was involved in the correction and the policing system. As a matter of fact, he's a soldier also. We had him on the show a few times before, and he had laid out a lot of different strategies to us. And in the correction system, he was able to make serious headway. In the policing also, he was able to make serious headway. He did, like he always talk about the fact that they did gun buyback, which worked out to be very helpful in curbing the crime. In the prison system, they were able to get a whole lot more done. And yes, someone like him.
Do you believe in capital punishment? Do you think that we should start back hanging?
Some cases are so heinous that you have no choice but to use capital punishment to make an example and to send them a strong message that you're not gonna tolerate the foolishness. I believe whatever it takes.
That's right.
But I have a problem with extrajudicial killings though.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I think the extrajudicial killings are wrong. There are those who condone it, but I don't. What's your thought?
While I am not 101% trusting of the police at the moment, and too many times their story is the same, that they were shot upon and they return fire killing people, I am not in support of that. But I also know that some of them, in my opinion, and maybe I may be wrong for thinking this, shouldn't even get a court date.
You see,
some lawyer is going to try to defend them.
In 2024, we know that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we know that there are dash cams and body cams that law enforcement is using, especially here in the United States, that tells exactly what happened. They don't have to make up any story and say this happened and that happened. You can see what the picture tells and know for sure what happened and what's happening and what didn't happen.
When you lived in Trinidad and Tobago, has it in any way changed your mindset in how we're operating now?
Well, I left Trinidad first in 72 and then I came back in 2006 up until 2015. And the years that I was there, things were getting out of hand, but it wasn't as bad as it had gotten afterwards.
Pulse?
Let's take this call. Good evening. You're at WZYE Brooklyn.
Hey, Uncle Tony, good night to you. Good night, Isha Wells. Good night to the listeners, the viewers. And I know Wall Street taking a listen every 5 minutes again. So good night to Wall Street as well. Uncle Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Isha Wells.
Hi.
Only how the gun buyback would work in Trinidad is when a man sit down with an illegal gun and know if you get catch with it, he had to go to jail 10 years, no bail. 10 years, no bail. He gonna sell it quick. He want the police or whoever to buy it back. But when a man know he can just go and rob somebody and get his same money because the government ain't gonna be paying no certain money. We know cheap the government pay and them is. They want to come and give man $550 so that man saying I can go and rob somebody and get 3,000 to 20,000 right now, I go sell my gun. So you see they just can't come and say we do not gun buyback because I know nobody in Trinidad, Lavanti, Mova, they go market. No way ain't going and sell the gun for no 500 when they know, well, sell it and then what? The man from over the borderline, which is the big problem in Trinidad right now, or the man from up the hill know, well, I sell my gun and I's a dead man in the morning. Things must change with the system first. If you get catch with an illegal gun, 10 years, no bail. Nobody in the right mind want to sit down and get catch. 10 years, no bail with an illegal gun. This is the kind of penalties you have to see in Trinidad and Tobago for change. You could make it different after the crime come to a level where people didn't have to worry and things change. You could see, okay, we could take our foot off the gas. But right now, Uncle Tommy and Isha Wells, we need the government to put their foot on the gas when it comes to the killing and all this craziness. Look at the shooting to the Port of Spain or whatever it was today, like a war zone.
And listen, Brooklyn, you hear that the children, you're hearing now children in Southeast school had to run under the desk and duck and roll. A girl
That's what I'm telling you. So you telling me that these people seeing this and these people don't care. But I'm not going to blame the government alone because you see the people as well in the community should have been outside in order to press the government. Enough is enough. Put a stop to this or no vote, no PNM. The people in that community shouldn't take place because that's a failing community should have come out. UNC don't win no election there. UNC don't even get to walk through there. So I am saying these people like it. And the children is the ones victim to the situation because if you want change, the government will just sit down and watch. What them going to do, boy? What are they going to do after the shooting? They're waiting for the police. The police afraid. The kind of guns these young men have, the police and going and get itself killed for no 4%. So all of this is the problems we facing. And not until the masses of the people come out and let the government know we don't care. We don't want to see the PNM again in this community. We don't know Red Jersey, start burning Red Jersey. Then you go see the government come and go see change. People study your lecturing. I want to, you see, People don't understand, you know. I feel like if I get to run Trinidad for 2 years, Trinidad going to be a safer place in the 3rd year. I don't want 5 years. I feel if I get Trinidad in 2 years, you will see something. Because I know, I grew up in the ghetto, I grew up in Catalonia all my life. I grew up in Lavantia, born Lavantia, I grew up in Catalonia. I know the whole streets. I know every bad, I know from all the bad men from the 90s, everybody, they love me. And I will tell you something. When a man has a legal gun, and he's sitting with that, or he planning to go and run somebody, and if he get catch, now the getting catch with the gun alone is 10 years with no bail. And then if you rob somebody, you might end up getting another 5 years. And so that you see when people sit down and study that kind of pain, they will sell the gun, they will come to the gun by that. You have to pressure them. If there's no
agree.
pressure, huh?
I agree. You need mandatory sentences for people with illegal arms.
Yes, instead of investing all these billions of dollars in national security, build an institution. So when you hold them now, you ain't going to sit down in no jail and do nothing. You have to go and work.
Correct.
You have to go and act to the society. You have to go and do something in there. Build, you know, and then the same thing they do in building, you can now distribute that to the same government houses instead of spending millions and billions to put things in it. You see, we have to get people who thinking. And then these same men might go and spend 10 years and come out and never want to see a gun again.
Brooklyn.
Never. Yeah, Uncle Tommy.
Do you believe that nobody knows who's doing the killing when these killings take place?
Man, these people shooting and running back to truck and going in the house normal. But who wanna talk? If you talk and you go in the station or you make a phone call, Uncle Tommy, the police calling the leader, the community leader, and telling the community leader you just snitch. And tomorrow you and your family dead. That's what's happening. The police are every crime. So the police is connected because of drugs. You think when the police and them get all this other drugs in the start and burn it? They distribute the drugs back into the community. Let's know what's going on. But again, it's not going to stop until the government decides to put some serious laws. Don't care. And I'm talking about UNC, PNM. We need to get these people to mash the gas. Bottom line. You understand, Uncle Tony and Isha?
Yes,
sir. Have a blessed day. Let me leave some space for somebody else.
Yes, indeed. 0477. You can call back now. 0477. You can call back now. Good evening and welcome.
Good night, Uncle Tommy and PNM Isha. Uncle Tommy.
Yes.
Uncle Tommy.
Yes, Mobile Defender.
Uncle Tommy, you always go with me, right? I'm a very serious man, right? And I hear you and Isha dance around Barry's house whole night. And I had to come in now. Uncle Tommy, we could go back into history. And if you check the stats, murders go up under the People's National Movement, no doubt about it. We could dance, we could run, we could flip, we could fly. Murder rise when the People's National Movement is in power. Let me stop beating on me, but Aisha, I don't tell you what you already know. I tell you to run you from bodies in your house. Stop tiptoeing still. Stand up.
Mobile Defender. Give me. Let me just do the station ID right quick, please. I kind of slip in when it comes to the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. Hold on.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yeah, Mobile Defender, go ahead.
Oh, good, Tommy. So I want to repeat because I don't want nobody lose the point. In the history murders rise under the People's National Movement. But Uncle Tommy, you know what getting me mad and upset?
Go ahead.
I could guarantee you one thing tonight, Uncle Tommy, without fear contradiction. If the United National Congress was at the wheel, a death sort of crime going on in the country unabated, Uncle Tommy, Isha Wells with the red beret, with the twist sideways, will be the first one to be in Port of Spain, calling out the Red Army to protest against this. But somehow, Uncle Tommy, but I understand, PNM is a vindictive party. So I understand why people don't stand up, but I can guarantee you one thing, because Isha Wells, I can remember, forget it, Uncle Tommy, as a youth man, I was about 20-something years now, touching 20-something. And I home, I know Uncle Tommy broke into teeth. I never had dollar in my pocket. And Isha Wells make a call for the Red Army, Uncle Tommy. And I was down at the parliament for less than this. So when I see all this thing happening in the country, and no one is mobilizing to go out and make a statement, I don't want to hear Isha and them. Because I totally believe Isha was a part of the problem. And you know what she's doing now to be the solution? She's talking soft. She want to talk about justice system. She want to talk about the police service, the revamp. She want to talk about this. And she's not talking about every time the People's National Movement is in power, murders go up. Uncle Tommy, we had 600 and something murders in 2022, no? And Uncle Tommy, the way we're going right now, we're looking like we're going to beat that. But Uncle Tommy, Isha was called the Red Army to go to the parliament for a runoff bill. When the People's Partnership government was in office, some kind of runoff bill and 2 terms, and that was what Isha Wells called out she Red Army for, and they came out. But now people getting bullet, left, right, center, and in the middle. But somehow now Isha Wells very quiet. She Red Army die. Where's the Red Army, Miss Wells? Miss Wells, where's the Red Army? Lavender is a mess. Isha Wells, you born and go right close to that murder this morning. You know that young man personally. Where is the Red Army, Isha Wells?
I don't know if you're hearing me, Mova Defender. Can you hear me?
So, Uncle Tommy, please understand my frustration. I'm not angry. I am passionate when I speak.
What's the solution?
Spade and stop playing party politics. And when my party in power, we can get away with it. And when the next party in power, chastise them for making a mistake.
So the solution...
You know what is strange, Uncle Tommy? You know what is strange? Under the People's Partnership, the murder was 300 and something.
So, Mova Defender, your solution is just change
the PNM out of the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
And even if after you do that, the murders continue, what would you do next?
Uncle Tommy, you see how you saw me? Uncle Tommy, take out that red earplugs.
No.
Uncle Tommy, take out your red earplugs. That is the start. And then, because everybody in the country is afraid PNM. Look what happened to KFC. For staying fire, but a democratic country. Because KFC is not supporting the PNM, he was victimized. Heavy duty not supporting the PNM, you are victimized. And Uncle Tommy, we can go on and on and on and on and on.
All right.
Uncle Tommy, the Speaker in the House, came and she chastised Stuart John for his statement. But they say they're not taking no further steps. So you tell me on one hand, he's wrong for what he did. He should not bring any parliament. And no steps that was being taken. Uncle Tommy, let's stop leaving on that, please.
Yeah, because...
if we don't stop, I'll call again, I'm a judge. The PNM victimize people in the country for talking the truth.
I'm not disputing what you're saying at all.
So, Uncle Tommy, so who is the problem then? You think if we get a proper democracy in Trinidad and Tobago, you think you think that Christopher will be there? Uncle Tommy.
No, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, Mova Defender.
Uncle Tommy, I just get frustrated. You know why I get frustrated? Because I even know the victimization I am currently going through. Why? Because you don't support a party, you must be victimized. It's not supposed to be so. So who is the problem, Uncle Tommy? Uncle Tommy, they cannot protest. I can remember I went to the Savannah. To protest for vaccine. And we were tear gassed. And that we were tear gassed, the whole Savannah, people passing in the road. That can happen on the UNC, Uncle Tommy?
No, we're not going to have that.
Oh God, come on. Come on. Let me talk the truth down and stop tiptoeing around PNM. PNM can be like tomorrow, Uncle Tommy.
All right.
I thought I can't take my life because I never get my life. But let me stop tiptoeing around the real issue. PNM is the problem. And good night, Uncle Tommy. I'll come back in later.
Thank you for the call.
Right, so I was trying to talk to Mova Defender, but he couldn't hear me. If Mova Defender is a follower of Isha Wells, he would understand that Isha Wells took a position a few months ago to have a religious vigil in the community of Laventille. And the reason for doing this, even though I was not on active radio, was because of the same killing situation in my community. It was becoming unbearable, and mothers of the area was reaching out to me, telling me we need to do something. I used what little means I had and means my spouse had to fund it. We got some support from Hot of the Press networks and the Baptist community and members of the community, and we gathered on the greens. The member of parliament at the time made a commitment to assist and never did, Keith Scotland. All he did was give us access to the office so people can use the bathroom if they needed to. Long and short of the story is, people came out, we pray, we cry, you know. And while the prayer meeting was going on, Tommy, would you believe there was gunshots while we were praying for gunshots to stop?
Wow.
I'm saying that to say, while I understand Mova Defender is very passionate, and again, I emphasize the point that I have been a political figure all of my radio life. I have been a political figure, and if I have done things to offend people, I have no problem apologizing for it. But I want to be judged now based on my no actions. I've already apologized for what I did in the past. So Mova Defender, while you're bringing up stuff that I did in the past, I have let it go. I'm hoping you can too. That's one. Two, what can I do with no resources to help crime other than with my influence, try to bring prayer, mediation, and highlight what is happening in the community? There are members of parliament who was elected to do what I am trying to do with resources, and I don't. So I'm saying all of that to say, Mova Defender, if you're a real supporter of Isha Wells, come and sit down with me. I called you to come down to the waterfront to protest. You talk about that on every platform. Come and sit down and talk with me now. Let us go into Laventille and talk with these youths. Some of these young men need a father figure, Mova Defender. Are you willing to be a father figure? Are you willing to be a mentor to some of these young men in the community? Since I called you out before, I'm calling you out again. And the people like you, other men in the community who want to see a change, let us sit down and come up with other strategies. But until that time, you cannot continue to carry that large burden on the problems that we have in this country because I defend them.
Let's take this call.
Go ahead.
You've reached WZYE. Good evening, and thanks for your call.
Uncle Tony, good night to you, Uncle Tony. And good night to you, Isha Welsh.
Hey, Kunji.
Good night to the listeners. Good night to the listeners, foreign and Trinidad and Tobago. Wall Street, good night to you and the family. I hope you're enjoying your night. Mova Defender, stop being so hard on Isha Welsh.
This man does be hitting me for 6 on every program,
Stop being so hard on Isha Welsh. Okay? I will leave it that right there.
All right.
But Isha Welsh, what Mova Defender speaking about too, sometimes the candlelight vigil will work, and inviting Mover Defender to walk into Laventille and speak to the youths and them, that might work too. But sometimes when you don't have resources, you need to speak out. And you could tell the MP for Port of Spain South and for Leons and Lava and Fitzgerald Hines and them, hey, they need to do better. I sure if you live over here and you tell the People's National Movement, hey, you all are failing the people, why is we help put you there? They're going to listen. And the community going to listen to. Because you have a voice and you have power amongst the community. But if these powerful activists and them not telling the leaders and them, hey, you're going wrong. The community need assistance and you fail in the community. Them not even living in the community. It's the community activists and the people and them have to tell them where they're going wrong. But most, I'm not saying you, but most of the PNM activists and them, because you just come out and tell you just come out and tell them they're going wrong. Most of the PNM activists and them, all of them is PNM outside there, and they rather keep a blind eye to the things that matters in life. But I done with you they know. Uncle Tony?
Yes.
You see the People's National Movement, you see the destruction that we face in 2024? It's the People's National Movement create those destruction. From 1956 to 2024 is about 80 years. And in that 80 years time, the UNC run this country for 5 years. And Ian Robinson run this country for 2.5 years. And the People's Partnership run for 5 years. They take out 12 years out of 80 years. That's at least about 65 years straight the PNM run this country for. And the PNM they know. And it's pain, pressure, problem. We have the worst road. Every ministry in this country failing the people and them. Every constituency that the People's National control from 1956, the world telling the citizens and them, don't go in the PNM areas and them. They are the most dangerous areas. Whilst we might say Port of Spain, yes, it's Port of Spain, but it's the PNM stronghold. The first Prime Minister of this country, Dr. Eric William, he was the MP for Port of Spain South. And what he leave over there today? Pain, tears in mothers and fathers' eye. Mothers and fathers work URP, CPEP, forestry, and minimum wage for over 50 years. The whole generation working for that. And the PNM continue doing that. The PNM continue doing that and giving them on minimum wage. How far you could reach with minimum wage? Why is it give Ruhan Sinanan comfortable opportunity and Faris Alwari comfortable opportunity and the East Indian community good opportunity? Who you think Bill Penal, David Woodland, Barapo, Shogunas and the East Indian community is the PNM there for 65 years? Give them the opportunities in life. But if you don't give Beatum, and you don't give Lavanti, and you don't give Digo Martin and the East-West Corridor the opportunity in life, how would they develop? How you feel all them KFC and all them big white boys and them achieve what they achieve today? Because they get the opportunity from the black leaders. But why the black leaders don't give the black supporters the opportunity to develop? And most of the black elders keeping a blind eye towards that. Why is the black youths just going down and down? If your mother and father don't have opportunity, they can leave anything for the children. And that is what the PNM do. The PNM stealing the opportunities from the citizens of this country. And when the citizens of this country speak out, They send out the activists and them that come from Grenada, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbados, and all of them. Well, all them Guyanese and them going back home. They say the first time I see Guyanese leave the PNM in Trinidad and going back home.
Anyway,
and send the activists and them to curse we and disrespect we when we speaking out. Uncle Tony is saying something?
Yeah, try to wrap it up because we have many calls coming in.
All right, then I'll wrap it up over here now. Isha, have a good night.
Thank you so much, Kunji. Thank you.
Yeah, 7083, call back. Call back 7083. Yeah, Aisha. Well, we have some overwhelming criticism. I said we have some overwhelming criticism of the rulers.
Yes.
I don't know, what say ye?
I am thinking the blame needs to go where it has to go. There are people who would have come to their electorate and asked them to vote for them to make these issues non-existent or at least to control it. And if they have to be held accountable for it, then so be it. If I am hired to do a job, Tommy, and I'm being paid to do this job, I'm expected to go to work and do the people job. From the minute that I'm accepting the money for the job and not doing the work, I'm doing that under false pretense. And it's to me, it's the same thing for politicians. I don't want to be held accountable for something somebody else is doing and I am not being paid for it.
True. 7083, you can call back. Yeah, so, hey.
I'm reading some of the comments. And Malachi Smith says, Aisha, you wait too long for this PNM government to get out of control and said nothing. So it is difficult to handle. So sad. And again, I understand that I have been one of the loudest and largest mouthpiece for the PNM. I understand that. But to say that I have said nothing is incorrect. I have spoken out against some of the things that has happened in the PNM. I may not have done it all the time. But to say that I've done nothing, I think it's not accurate, Malachi.
Not fair.
I am the most outspoken PNMite. Outspoken.
I see Takisha was first in the chat tonight. Good evening, Takisha. Thank you for spending time with us. $70.83. Thank you for calling. You're on WZYE. Yeah, talk on your phone.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, talk on the phone.
Yeah, so talk on the phone.
Oh, reporter.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, sir.
Isha, good night, Isha.
Hi, how you doing, reporter?
You hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, I see, girl, you know it's part I located and I'm situated right now, right? You know where I am in the hospital.
I know where you're hustling.
But on that place, they're really hot there right now in Port of Spain, East Port of Spain, all them area, them youth and them labor. Oh God, hey, youths and family and friends of that community. This could never be a solution. That is only bringing problem in the community. Cars can't run properly. You understand? I don't know what it is really going on. Mr. Hines, right by the MP office, and this area, I shall have a heavy police presence, you know, when they come in.
Really?
There's that. Hello?
Really? The police outside?
Yeah.
Are the police on foot? Are they on foot or are they in cars?
Most likely cars.
And this is the next thing I find strange. These police only watching cars to see if they have a register sticker and then looking in the cars. Once you have a sticker, you could go about this country with all kind of firearms and do all kind of things. This is the problem we have right now because these areas that had that shooting this morning there is a place of real police. They have a police mobile right in Duncan, a police station on Duncan Street right there. I don't know why they're allowing this thing to continue and escalate in the community and bringing all this set of pain and problem. And right now when it ground down there, look at what number it is, it's bullet and all kind of, I mean, the kind of talk here. coming up to election time. This is a Jamaican style of politics and governing of the country. I want the politician and the businessman to know I am aware of what it is they're going on with. Once the country in that kind of status, it will not be able to function properly in this country to keep a proper general election. Once you have the communities and the corners very heated, the voting force will be lower. Mr. Hines, we know that shot. We know that shot by. I talk about that in the early. We couldn't allow this country to reach to that pace. Why all this crime, this thing stem from leaving the borders open, so we don't use handgun again and see, man, we're big much people in the city. This is something well orchestrated by politicians. I don't care. I say no allege. It's a fact. Because we give the politician the authority to secure our country. And if the country running in this direction, who you want to blame? You remember this government coming to office and make cost of living very high for the citizens. Anytime they want to destroy a country, all they had to do is destroy the root. If you want to destroy a tree, destroy the roots of the tree. And that's what the government doing right now. So this thing can't stop just unless we remove this administration and come up with policies to prevent these kind of things from happening. This country have no crime prevention policy in it. All they have is that crime fighting thing. And if you have crime fighting, there'll always be crime. If you have a crime prevention plan, it will be always better, so you will always be preventing crime. Good night, Aisha and brother Tommy, and Wall Street. Enjoy yourself, my brother. I hope I come across loud and clear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, reporter. What do you say, Aisha?
Exactly where reporter is.
Let me hang up. Let me hang this up. Okay, Aisha?
Reporter and elders like him in the community have been trying for some time to bring back a level of semblance. But it's only so much they could do. What we need to find a way to do in these communities is to make badness out of style. It may sound weird, but it is true. We have to find a way to let these youths know what they're doing is not cool. It's not the happening thing. It's not the in thing. But when they look around and they're seeing, these community leaders driving the best cars, still getting government contracts and these type of things, it's hard to show them that this life, is worth taking the risk. We have to find a way to bring it as real as we could to them and let them know that this life only heads to prison or the grave.
Good night, Anderson.
Hey, good night, Anderson. Akira, how are you?
Mansa Moose. He says everything is going wrong in Trinidad. And it seems there's no solutions, nobody saying nothing or doing anything. What the hell is going on?
We really need to find a way to fix what is happening.
Nice, Darren.
Good evening to both of you. Aisha, it is safe to say towing the party line became burdensome to you. I've always been up against oppression. One function.
Aisha, your godson again.
Take it.
Yeah, good night, Uncle Tommy. Good night, Queen of Talk.
How you doing, godchild?
Uncle Tommy.
Yes, indeed.
We have an evil ruler in the land, no? You watching the kind of crimes and things going on in this place?
I agree.
But I watch back, I just back and watch it. Anytime the PNM in power, the crime is escalated.
Well, that's been KFC. KFC. Every single caller is echoing the same sentiment as the fact that the PNM is the root of our troubles at this particular time. But what are some of the real solutions that you are presenting that would curb the crime?
My real solution is to get rid of this evil, wicked, atlas PNM because they're not doing nothing for the crime.
Well,
Mr. Washington, you know what I do? You know what I do now? The courthouse. The people that are wrong with the pit of the building and open out the courthouse. Mm-hmm. Amalgamated justice and time. Remember that is the PNM finances and them running the country and them not making no money. So crime is a business.
Agree. All over the world. All over the world.
Without crime, all the courthouse could run. before they give me gun.
Rob, good night.
I mean, that's serious thing going on in this country, especially under the PNM, because the PNM in charge of crime. Because look at the shooting going on wrong by the bridge and the PNM stronghold. They're not coming on. When you go to see the MP and the senior MPs and them, they even pass it through the community. They get the Isha, let's keep back at Canada division wrong there. I went down there and get support right by the MP office. You hear none of them, you hear none of the ministers, you hear Chief Scotland come and talk. You hear the Minister of National Security, that are shooting right by the harbor. You hear small pen, none of them come and talk. At the end of the day, the people don't really care about the problem on the East-West corridor, you know, let me be real. Yeah, they went on the streets down there, they kill and said, youth man, Chief Scotland went down there to talk about. I'm sure you remember down there to give people comfort, bring all the jobs in the community. But what should, you know, develop the community, the NR, you know. But the NR come in power, then pave the road straight out, straight up the bag and sing, build a basketball court there. It's just when Marlon McDonald was a rock, she used to bring the work and thing in the community because she was dealing with. But a certain man, he come and pass away and place the girl jobs and things in the building outside toilet and public governance, fence and things in the community. But the PNM don't know they had them. So they doesn't really care about me. So I love to understand.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your call. Yeah, Isha, as you were saying before.
Yes, I am seeing Aisha. Go ahead, take the call.
Mobile Defender calling back. Let me see. Mobile Defender.
Yeah, Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy,
Yes, go.
This is the point I was making, right? This is the point I was making.
Yes.
Aisha Wells just said on national radio, right, that she was the loudest voice for the People's National Movement, right? So how we not hearing her now for country? Uncle Tommy, Twiggy, I think nobody can be more PNM than Twiggy.
True.
And Twiggy just come out and say when right is right and wrong is wrong. Why Aisha Wells is not commenting directly to the PNM? She only spreading around and blaming everybody else. And talking about what she do and what she do. Come, Aisha Wells, I wanted to denounce the things going on in the country. Why are you not saying that?
Doing here, I thought that is
what
am I not speaking the country? I thought I am denouncing.
You are them then. You are them. You defend anybody come.
No, you can't be unfair to her. She is denouncing what's going on at this particular time.
Uncle Tommy, I know you will say that Uncle Tommy, I get daughter, you know. Uncle Tommy, I get daughter. So let's attack your daughter, Uncle Tommy. Good night, Uncle Tommy.
Mobile Defender.
Mobile Defender is miserable. Patricia Reed, good evening. She says Aisha Gigi made the comment about UNC and giving gangs contracts. So you want to put them back there, Patricia Reed? Mova Defender, to all of you who want to choose a side over other, that is not what I am doing. For Mova Defender to say that I am not defending the country is unfair. For Mova Defender to say that I am not talking out, it is unfair. I am in no way being partisan about anything. Since I've started this conversation with you guys 2 nights now, I have not been defending the PNM. And trust me, if I want to defend, I know good how to defend. And I have not been doing that. What I have been doing is calling out the issues, calling a spade, saying what needs to change, talking about revamping the system, talking about us taking responsibility, talking about us choosing leaders. I've been doing that for the last 2 nights. But you know, they're still trying to drag me cat fight.
Let's see what Mr. Intellectual has to offer this evening. Mr. Intellectual, thanks for your call.
Hi, good night.
Good evening.
You were asking for solutions.
Yes, sir.
As we all know that education is one of the things that would assist the country in developing a better system. But the thing is, how are we going to change this system to reinstitute a better program or a better curriculum so that we could get the the youths and them focus in a different direction. How can we penetrate the communities and to salvage the youths and them that we could? Isha was saying that some of them are unsalvageable. How can we eliminate the unsalvageable ones and allow ourselves the comfort of within the community from those people who are a menace to society? The thing is, everybody in their own society knows who is who. Right? Especially in close-knit societies like Lavantil and those places.
Communities, you mean, right?
Yeah. Take for instance, Aisha was indicating that how the youths and them will feel, or what would change their mind if they see community leaders getting contracts from the government and they are being facilitated and they're driving nice cars and all this kind of thing. But how come most of these people and them know who the community leaders are, who getting these contracts and them? What these community leaders and them did for the ruling party that keep them in power and give them the facilities, not campaign for them, not do the things that is necessary for them to win elections.
I would imagine so.
These are the things that we ought to be looking at. Is this we want for our society? These are the questions that we ought to ask ourselves. And if it's not, how are we going to change it? The solution is getting rid of the people and them who are constantly taking the opportunities to facilitate those who would finance them. We need to look at whether or not we want our communities to change and do the thing that is necessary to get the change, which is to get rid of these people and them. But again, how are you going to get rid of it when they are so-called leaders doing their part to maintain the status quo so that everybody else had to bow before it? Ms. Wells and others know that if they go against these people and them, what's the consequences? How are you going to stop the consequences? What laws do we have in place to stop them? Unless we don't change the system that we have, re-educate the minds, and give people the opportunity to think differently, that's the only way we're going to solve the problem. We have a radical reformation in mind and a total reset in the education system so that people could excel and do what they were meant to do, be better citizens. True. I want to say that's the honest opportunity that we have. And if we could do that, one of the ways in doing that is change the regime that we have at present and ensure that those who come in understand the needs of the people, and the people and them must make them understand that this is what it is we want, not what you want to give us. This is what we need, and we need the system to change, and we want to have the right to recall all it so that all will know that we're serious.
Yep.
Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Mr. Hanif. Mr. Daniel. Thank you and pleasant evening.
Welcome. You're welcome. Last night.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Isha.
Yes.
Overwhelmingly, everybody is on the same page when it comes to what needs to be done.
But are we going to take a step further to ensure that we do what has to be done? Go ahead, take the call.
It's not registering on the computer. Okay, yeah, it is. No, this is a different call. Welcome to WZYE.
Good night, everyone.
Same to you. Well, thanks for your call.
Good night. Good night, Isha, to Mr. Wall Street, and to you, Uncle Tommy and Isha, to everybody, family, to all the great listeners, and to Miss Diane too as well.
So it's like Anderson.
No, so I buy a fan. So I'm gonna make him take down your system straight off. No. The online, no, take it off. Hold on 1 sec.
Oh, what is this?
Yes, Uncle Tommy.
Yes, sir.
All right, you stay right there. Just have him for the longest system. Right on, no next we lie there. Yes, Uncle Tommy. Your great listener was our callback.
What kind of? And there's something going on with you there.
All right. Oh boy.
Okay, so Anderson getting some problems.
Yeah. He's probably not hearing himself, but he needs to listen on the telephone and WZYE.
Hello, good night.
Good evening.
Good evening to Uncle Tommy and good evening to Isha.
Hello.
Average listener hardly call, but this program tonight, I just want to give a little 2 cents. This situation. I'm calling from Carnage. I think I call Isha. I was a regular listener to Isha programs.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a part of an organization called Movement MSJ, Movement for Justice.
All right. MSJ.
All right.
Yeah, Isha, you had interviewed David Abdullah when he was on, I think it was on 91.9.
Yeah, I've interviewed David.
You had great remarks, and and it all was about the shenanigans. I don't know if I pronounced it right,
Yeah.
When they was talking, what a great idea and thing, and at the end of the day, it was just games. But nevertheless, let me move on. I'm watching it tonight, and I'm seeing that you are hurt tonight, and what is like is the chicken is coming home to roost, right? And PNM is the problem, right? PNM is the problem, and to solve the problem, you have to get rid of the PNM. Bring in any other administration if it will work, because the system, if you don't change the system, I don't think who you put there, it will always continue. So everybody is leading up to the UNC. If the UNC go back in power, this is my entitlement, my opinion, right? I believe in the same thing. If the system and change, we will continue spinning top and mud. We had the perfect opportunity in 2010 with the People Partnership to see the back of the PNM, and we see what happened with that. But all the crime is coming from the PNM hotspots, and this is troubling. This is troubling. My solution is that I watch a lot of world events, and when people have a problem, right, they take to the streets. But Trinidadians have a tendency, they go on the streets, the caravan, the TPV, and no results. We need, when we hit the streets, we have to get solutions, right? We have to call and hold these ministers accountable when we will say enough is enough for crime, or what it have to take again. Crime is the biggest problem in Trinidad and Tobago. Cost of living, high food prices, you name it. Hospital. What Trinidadians are waiting for? Aisha, why are you not calling out the troops? When was Tobago election? You say you're calling the Red Army. Where your supporters? Why this thing is all they're reaching on the doorstep?
Can you hear me?
Serious this thing is.
Can you hear me?
Trinidadians. Huh?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Aisha.
Did you know 3 months ago I call out my troops to come on the Piccadilly Greens to have a prayer vigil to protest crime in that area. Were you aware that I did that 3 months ago?
Yeah, I think one of your program, I think I didn't listen to the actual events, but I know he was announcing it on your programs and
Correct.
And I heard one or two commentators on other programs talk about it.
So to say that I am not calling out the troops, that is not true. I am calling out people to stand up against it. But what do you want me to do other than what I can do with no resources, caller? I am just one person screaming in the wilderness. If we all come together as a group, me, you, and all who support you, and decide to make it bigger and louder, then we would have a bigger impact. But what one person can do, and that's what I'm trying to say. Organize ourselves to stand.
Fair enough. I like that's a good statement.
That is
I
why
will pick up on that. I will talk to my people and see what this thing needs. A whole collaboration. And this is not a one-man thing. This is a country, and everybody has to be on deck.
Thank you, caller.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for your call.
Okay, all right, okay. I'll listen off here.
Everybody wants to know what I am doing. What are we doing? You know how to find me. I am on social media. I am easy to find. Let us come together and do something, but no. She called out the Red Army, so she not fighting crime. Come on, man.
Yeah. Caller who's calling now, 3846, call back.
I want Mova Defender to call back. Because Mova Defender has a very big mouth and a lot of influence apparently, and he needs to come and say, Isha, I want to work with you.
What are you calling?
A program where we mentor young men in the
KFC?
Yeah, good night. I know you're going for the brigade. Uncle Tommy and Isha, you call it to suppress. The same way you call it to get rid of the UNC. You don't call it to get rid of this evil, wicked government and make a change. If we get rid of the evil will continue. And they call it to get rid of the evil. The government was in power. The evil, if the evil still around, we can have prayers, we can walk up and down, and the evil still around we. Crime will just continue. Or real civilization will go on. Because it's a two-party system. No matter no third party, whether the PNM or the UNC. But right now, the PNM had to go. The evil and wicked and heartless to the people who are children and Tobago. Too much and the command them black magic going on together.
All right. Okay, KFC. Thank you. Aisha?
Yes, Tommy. And I was saying, let us form ourselves into groups and find a way to go to some of these schools in these press areas and talk to the principal, find out who is the troubled child, find out how we can mentor this child, find out if this child has problems at home, maybe mommy don't have food, find out if we could provide with a hamper, find out what we could do to impact change. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Brooklyn.
Uncle Tommy and I shall good night again.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Tommy, you know in the Black Power uprising, do you know that it had soldiers?
1970, yes.
Do you know they had soldiers and police with the Black Power movement for that uprising against Eric Williams?
Of course.
Now, Uncle Tommy, today in this country, do you know why soldiers and police doesn't agree? You know that soldiers and police don't agree? You know the police job is to protect the rich, and the soldiers' job is to protect the citizens of the country.
The nation, yeah.
So when citizens of the country understand this and come together to get rid of this penal government, they don't understand that the soldiers of Trinidad and Tobago must protect them on the mission. And you see, people don't understand. No one person, because they're coming at Aisha, and they don't even understand. We have to understand that Aisha Wells passed through she time. It was an experience. She understand. She learned she lesson. When they get up, she back.
Exactly.
If we want a youth leader or we want somebody to get the attention of the young minds of Trinidad and Tobago, we now must come and push Aisha Wells to press the button. But when we come and we tell her she is using for you reason you think she pressing the button, or they just start she going home and saying she not even taking part in that again. Stop fighting she and come now to push she towards pressing the button for me to get a start. All we need is a start. Because what the government don't want to see is Aisha was leading thousands of young people, and I will tell you this. Every single body have a soldier in their family in Trinidad and Tobago. And when they had the police line up to tear gas, we and do all kind of wickedness. And the soldiers let them know, you know my son in that rally, you know my mother and father there, you know my cousin and uncle in that rally. You think they're going to allow police to do wickedness? They're not going to allow it, and the government don't want it reach there. They don't want it reach there, so they're going to do the right thing to prevent it from reaching there. Makande Jaga know who he had on his side. That is why they almost end up running the country until the PNM come and tell them everybody got to wear dashiki and sandals. But at that point in time, we didn't want to be Africans. That time we wanted to be Europeans, so we get rid of the engine. We didn't want to hear Makanda Jaga. So, because we didn't want to wear dashiki and sandals. But when Black Panther come out, everybody wearing dashiki and sandals. You understand? We have to get serious with what we want. People and children are dying. And until we understand that, we must come out and have a leader who understands the PNM. Aisha Wells, understand the PNM, don't fight she. Join her, and let me start this thing to get to fight this election to destroy the PNM. Uncle Tommy and Aisha gone.
Thank you.
Let me thank Donna Ramlochan. She says, Aisha, your skin is flawless. I am a vegetarian, Donna. I do not eat meat. I do not eat fish. I do not eat animal products. No, it is not religious. No, it is not spiritual. My parents used to practice Rastafarianism when I was born, so they were not eating it. And when they started to eat it, I could not eat it. So I've lived all my life eating fruits, vegetables, legumes, etc.
You're on WZYE. Good evening. Good evening, guys.
Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening, Tommy. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, Miss Atlanta. Good evening.
Yes, and Aisha. Good evening, everybody on the chat, everybody, all the callers, all the listeners, and everything. I am just listening to the talk and realize that one of our big problems is that we look at each other and that's all, and talk. Now, Aisha, oh gosh, Aisha.
Yes.
People should stop, like for instance, Aisha. She is here today, right? Now, while I believe some of what they are saying, like Aisha had a red army, oh gosh, it's going to the hour. Aisha has a red army and brought out a red army. Remember, Aisha, everybody has a part to play in this world. Everybody in the world has a part to play. People has cried on Eric Williams. Eric Williams had a part to play, and he played his part. It was up to you, whoever come behind him or whatever, the side of him, and continue. It's like a relay race, right? You pass the baton, or when you're running a race, you go for the first leg, and you do it. The person take the baton and go second. Next one. But I'm not saying when you come out that you're coming on the race, but you're passing on the baton because everybody can't do everything. Aisha did her part in her way. She even apologized for some of the mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? but it's for everybody to do what they have to do. And you see this kind of, like, even Isha said she held a prayer and worship. No, it had days, it had time for things. Like Isha said, she waited on her time because really everything is in its own time and in God's timing or whatever. But you see the prayers and the weeping and the praying and the thing, that's for your personal God and yourself and your people at your home. Because there come a time, its prayers ain't going to help. Jesus was a revolutionist. You realize that he was the first revolutionist. He came to change the people's mind. And you see what they do? So so there's things like prayers. And then we put up things, and then what it will be the end of that praying? No, the time for praying had done. There's a time you have to pick up your arms. Not you personally, you did your part. And you continue doing your part. Because you still have things to do, but you don't. In what sphere you will get at revelation? In what sphere? But other people have to pick up where Isha, where Eric Williams left, where Daga left, in the revolution, you know, where everybody did the thing and have to do their part. For the race, it won't stop. And you don't stop in the middle of a relay race, everybody. What we could do, and what we could do, you have to do all the time. It might be you, but it's a continuous thing.
Yes.
And I wanted to, and we have to take the hour. Well, I still want to say this last thing. When I take the hour, I'll stay on the phone.
All right. Let's go. Let's do a station ID and then we'll get back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Aisha, the phones are blowing up there.
I know, but let me respond to Robert Nesbitt before you take a call. Robert wants to help if I need support. He says, Tommy, you know how to contact him. Robert Nesbitt, I need your help. How can I contact him? Tommy, we'll discuss that off air if possible.
I will give you his number. If he wants to get in touch with you, I'll talk to you. I'll give you his number.
But there are some of the young people, like I mentioned in the beginning, that can be saved. They just have to be reached. And if we can reach them by going into some of our schools, talking with the principal, finding out who are the troubled children, finding out, you know, what are their immediate needs, why are they in trouble? Sometimes it's simple. It's just if somebody show that they care. And I want.
Let me take this call. Yeah,
I just want to say that to Robert.
Miss Atlanta?
Yes, I just want to finish up here. Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Aisha. Hello?
Yes, I can. Yes, we're hearing you.
Oh, okay. Yes, Aisha. And every caller has their own really good points, a lot of good points, something, right? But somebody has it too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but and just like all the leaders, all good people who played their parts well, Aisha did a good, listening to people and how she brought out people and that was good. But there comes a time when you have to stop talking and act. And act means, you see, people might be able to, in 1970, I was in the 1970 and the 1990 revolution, because you have to revolt. When you believe in something, no, I'm not telling people go and revolt, but I'm just saying, to change, if you want to change is hard. And that's what people can't take. They want the nice change. Come, let's get the children together. Let's give them breakfast. Let's give them a bag. No. Yes, that you have to do that too. Eh? Yes, you have to do for your family. But all I'm saying, and I'm going with this, is that sometimes you have to do the hard thing. You have to bite the bullet. You have to do the hard. I'm not saying Aisha, no. Whoever have to take that battle has to do it. And then
computer.
And there are a lot of people who don't want to, like you might actually might call out somebody. Now there are a lot of helpers, people will come and help, you know. But it's beyond that, that is the continuation, because Isha gets a lot of help, even though if she starts anything or doing anything, you know. So my point is, I am not the soft one. I can't go through things. I am a radical. You see, like when people say, how am I going in the parliament and do that? I'm a going to storm. If I have to do anything, I'll storm the parliament. Honestly, when I mean storm, that's not no gun and thing, you know. Change, more walking, and when you have to look at what people do in the past. I say young Tommy, I don't know if you remember, but remember the old time people in parliament used to lie down on the ground, all kind of thing, you know. And that is 90 years ago. They just sit down, rather, you know, and do things. But I'm not telling everybody to rile off, but the way people talking about the state we in, sometimes you have to do the hard thing. You have to do.
Thank you, Mr. Atlanta.
Okay, thank you. And thanks, Tommy and Wall Street. I forget to tell Wall Street good night wherever he is.
Correct. Yes, Alicia.
Just take the calls, allow people to get it.
Kuala, you're live.
Good night, everyone. Aisha, what I mean, I'm not talking about.
No, and listen to
you, Aisha, the Wall Street and your family. I'm going to start all over, you know. Because we understand the government and I hear by net. By his establishment of small business. And we call him for me, and a lot of people listening, Aisha. Okay, Tommy, good night.
Good night,
you already beat some listening, Aisha.
I beat some people.
They are not pleased with what you said earlier on, Aisha. I mean, you do have to do like visual lines. Yeah, you must tell me about you watching it on a big screen. Aisha, you're on a big screen, right? One of the biggest screen in Beaton. Yeah, everyone is being seen, and they love the program. After introducing them to the program, notwithstanding my phone long days, but the program will be listening at the same time. I was unable to call it. So I'm going to take my time and tell all you what I have to say now. Because I know all the ills of what's going on in the country, people worldwide need to know. And I said early on, you touch everybody knows who have registered companies. I have to say companies and not company. Because it's so much. I have two companies. And this Wilson company, Peter Estate Maintenance Limited, Nicholas Foundation Limited, and the list to go on and on. And I talk about nobody who have ever been charged or anything like that. Unless published for obscene language, as you know, the normal. But I'm saying this, I said this. Earlier on, you said that they're giving criminal contracts. Now, we and others have been doing contracts which have no criminal records whatsoever. And it will be me at this time, this administration, they will see fit to give me any. I still have to register a company. But there were canal 50 feet and over about done in phase 5. And there were drainage done all over in Pattaya, name it. And some of those contractors have never been charged by the law or anything. A lot of people have registered their company in Lavantello and environs.
And I am in no way saying that people have never said that or would never imply that. There are large companies, Anderson, that defrauding the state money by doing shabby work. They are criminals. I am not referring to our small contractors or small...
you see, I should say that she's not referring to our small petty contractors.
No,
because
never do that.
Just Aisha, just I never have to play on the speaker because I'm not playing so clearly, but you and yourself.
Tell me if you're hearing me.
Isha, on your settings, you need to turn up your mic a little on your settings.
We're just going on. Citizens have understand how hard small contractors that are working to get the money. Understand? Because it always has some kind of error to deal with. We are small contractors. We had a fight just to get the contract, make sure all the documents in place, all these things correct before we accept your contract from the government, right? Besides that, when we don't have to tender against to be 100 contractors, you awarded the contract. We start we going now to deal with this job now. We have to according to which auditors. Aisha, if you understand what I'm saying, you know where you're from, so just understand what I'm saying. We have to deal with these people. We do have sometimes we have a problem with that because it is what it is, right? After we don't go through all of this, make sure and get all these areas covered, right? Sometimes we start waiting long to just get a little bit of money because after as a contractor, we have a little back against to be the team. But
so
when we gotta wait for the money so long to cover we areas.
What are you doing about that?
I done. Go ahead now, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, sir. I come not in here.
I want you guys to listen off here. I want to know what all you're doing about that. You see what you're talking about there? I understand it, Tati, because I live in the communities and I know what small contractors go through. I am not referring.
I sure people are also sad when you're trying to say, don't mention PNM. The people in Beaton and Lavelle, they want you. And people like Curry Master to go up as independent people. Or we vote for Rodney Stowe. Because we need leadership in Lavendale. When we look at Pejala and Isha, come on. We not see leadership. Look, we are Curry Master kick off for the update ball. And Mr. Happy Birthday thing. And I mean, and Isha, you know who we're talking about. You don't want his name to be mentioned. Because you know why? You can't do all of this. I've been with my friend on several jobs. And up to now, the government cannot pay. And the boss in. Yeah, we have done this. We have get this train fixed. Yeah, we done this bridge. We done this, we done that. And the contractors cannot get money. Why is only below the PN? And we need people like you. I don't want nobody calling you whether it's from Atlanta. You could be from Spain. You talk about nothing but no Red Army. The Red Army they don't deserve you, Isha. You're a fighter. No Red Army deserves you. Your army have no color. Your army have people. In Laventille, remember when you had not flat and you say, I'm not like you're flat, you know. But people are Chopper rich, I rich, or woman rich, this one rich. Come on, Isha. You're a fighter. You mustn't talk nothing but no red. You talk country. You talk no yellow neither. So you hear to talk about Kamala no raw way. We think too much. My phone down. I need a phone. I need a phone for to say, yeah, old Kamala. I call from somebody who love Kamala so bad to send me a new phone in the morning. I shall use a fighter. You is a fighter. And you're more on people do like injustice, where justice is concerned. No, I can't have nobody got to up right now. I shall know what I'm saying. Yeah, let her wait. Aisha, we need you and people like Curry Master to go independent. And show people like Pejala keep the honorable doctor keep Christopher Hall, the Prime Minister should have taken for. I should remember.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anderson.
And I want to say good night to everybody on the BTM who listening to the program. If it's one thing on the BTM, that is listen to talk show. People think the youths don't listen, they listening. I am telling you on the BTM morning, noon, and night, them youths are aware of what is happening in the country. And I want to clear up the misconception that I was referring to giving criminals contracts as though I was aligning BTM, Laventil, Mover, Sealot, or the hotspot areas as criminal contractors. I would never do that. You know what I would say? There are big contractors who doing shabby work and defrauding the government millions and billions of dollars, and yet they continue to get work from the government. And that has to be investigated. They are the criminals. Not the small contractor who getting a $50,000 contract and had to pay $25,000 in security. I'm not referring to them. I sympathize with them. I sympathize with the contractor who going out there and doing the work and can't get paid for months because HGC don't have no money to pay them. I sympathize with those contractors. So I want to just put that out there. And I want to tell Anderson and those fellas down on the BTM, I hear all you cry, but what all you doing about it? Take your calls. Take the calls.
Yeah, but they need to call me on WhatsApp. 3352. You need to call me on WhatsApp. $3352. Call me back. Make sure you call me on WhatsApp. Yeah, but meanwhile, you can talk. Why is it? This is KFC. KFC got through calling after 3352. 324-3352. You needed to call me on WhatsApp. Yes, KFC.
Yeah, good night again, Uncle Tommy and the Queen. I shall look move at the friend that is a contractor with our money. And he
KFC, you get it. You have a bad connection. KFC, you have a bad connection.
I think he was trying to say that the Mover Defender is a contractor and he's getting problems to get his money. I would have heard Mover Defender's story on one of the radio programs. He was talking about it. And people like Mover Defender, I sympathize for. Because when they're coming up in business, Tommy, they don't have any finances to assist them. Their parents didn't die and leave a trust fund for them to invest in business. They can't even get a proper loan from the bank. So whatever they have as far as equipment and machinery, they work hard for it. And when they do a work, they expect to be paid for it. Why should contractors like them catch their aunt, uncle, and nenen to receive their monies while big contractors are being paid religiously every month? I sympathize for people like that. If I had my way, I paid.
I can relate to what you're saying.
All right. Like somebody, let me know, you know. I go talk for you, you know.
No, I'm out of the game right now.
All right.
But I've been there.
All right.
I don't know why these calls aren't coming in. Some of these calls aren't coming in.
Tommy, I am saying, and I'm hoping that these contractors on the BTM is listening. Let us organize ourselves into a small tractors committee.
Mr. Brooklyn?
And make it we are going through. Let people know. Let us talk about it. Let us find a way to highlight our issues. Why you suffering on the BTM? Mover Defender suffering in Mover. I suffering in Port of Spain. And we can come together and make this a national issue.
Yeah, Mr. Brooklyn.
Take it, Mr.
Good night, Uncle Tommy. Again.
Yes, Mr. Brooklyn.
I want to say my good friend Anderson, Curry Marcel is not going up as no independent. Now, let me put that out there. I know that your family, you love him, but we don't play games. This is seriousness. Curry Marcel will never go up as no independent. So don't accept the thing, Anderson.
But didn't he go up as a
PNM did everything for him.
Wasn't he an ILP at one point?
No. PNM has done everything for the youth man. He become a lawyer under the PNM. Let me even go into that. I Anderson family that he nephew. So let me leave it like it. He would never go independent. Right? And I want to say to the people, when I shall say that the government give shock to criminals or bad man, she didn't mean the honest people. Let me stop playing games now, people. Let me know what Isha was talking about. When Isha was said the government giving the contracts in the ghetto to the wrong set of people, she didn't mean the hardworking people. We know what she's talking about. Let me just go in show. Let me stop playing the games now. This is real talk. Right? So don't push on no spot or try to make it seem as if she's talking about the innocent and the hardworking people. Isha was no talking about. When I say that we need somebody to fight the PNM that know the PNM, Isha was know the PNM. And the day Isha Wells decide to fight the PNM, they will be afraid of Isha Wells because she know the wrong that the PNM have done. To the people, to the African people, to the Pitam, to John, to Eastern Corey, to Presgaland, you understand? To Mova, to Chinapu, to Mali, she know. Fitzgerald is going to be frightened of Isha Wells. So we stop playing. Well, yeah, this is an election. Election is next year, you know. In America, and I'm afraid to tell her, you know, so don't try to push her on no spot. Certain things she could talk and certain things she's not going to talk on the radio. All we need is she to press the button. Again, she that red button like the president of America. Again, she the red button. I want she press the red because she press the red button. It wouldn't be for red on me. It would be for all the young people of Trinidad and Tobago. With all the passes, all the education, it wouldn't be for the guns. It wouldn't be for the politics people. It would be for the people with all the education that cannot see the way, that don't know where to turn, that wake up frustrated every morning and don't have nobody to help them. It could be for them people. It could be falling on showers. We had to wake up and stop playing, you know. This thing's serious, you know. This thing is not about a small contract, can you beat them? Or a small gun. No. If you're doing the right thing, blessings to you, you're doing the right thing. And you know it's hard. Because you're doing the right thing and you ain't getting nothing. And you yourself say the ones who ain't doing nothing. But because it's bad man, the government gave them the opportunities. So that we stop playing. Alright? When you come up, I shall back. Thank you,
Mr. Brooklyn. Isha Wells.
Yes.
You have this airwave in a mess.
Listen, let the people call.
Yeah, 3206. Hang up and try again right now. KFC needs to give somebody else a chance. KFC.
And Isha. Yeah, I want to come in, Isha.
Yes. There are a lot of calls coming in.
I have a bit, my brother don't really beat them down. They have small contractors and them they crying for their money. I hope they get victimized because my good friend, my body friend, that was crying out for money and the victimize him. But Mr. Uncle Tommy, you know what I'm doing now? They put us at a pain and put on board and thing.
That's not normal.
Yeah, when you're against the PNM, the victimizing you. It's about a girl. I saw it, my know she that she up by she size. To the score, she I got capitation, but the score, she on her body and she victimized me. Tell it, well, man, the boy, that is so and so name, that is so and so son. Before I reach in the body, they don't know who is me already. And a woman stand and say, but come and tell me everything, she make it bad for me. So the real victimization under the PNM alongside us singing them song. Isha was you're gonna be independent, Isha was PNM in she blood. Hey, look, to understand.
All right, sir. Thank you. Isha?
KFC, I'm sorry that you would have experienced victimization. It is not a nice thing. It is not an easy thing. And I know you can use all the help you can get. Unfortunately, there are some people among us who just petty. Because whether you belong to any particular political party, the responsibility doesn't belong to the state. And as a state, you're entitled to it.
If there are some people among us who just because whether you belong to any particular
Okay, so listen on the phone.
Hold on. All right. I got to me and Isha again.
Yes, Anderson.
Anderson.
Good. Now, I know in our father's house, you pick up your book and you always on our homework. We know the PNM get Korean. Korean is a PNM. What you should be asking for Brooklyn is for them Korean in 9 states. Yeah. I have done nothing but Levantil. Yeah. And for years, I've been telling Korean, not a month will pass. Well, I don't think go up independent. But now I have a yellow jersey, Korean know I'm UNC. I'm proud to be a UNC. But first, everybody you in the place Brooklyn, I'm a citizen of Trinidad. They go, just like you, we are proud citizens. And I support the UNC. But Korean is my nephew. Isha is my friend. And what I will always tell you when I see Isha, when I go up independent, when I say Korean, I say, everybody will vote for you, boy. Show them and come back to them. When you see I come here to talk nice about only the UNC and talk nice about PNM, when PNM has done nothing for this country. When PNM, look for instance, look what Ghana is doing to the citizen right now who got what to see somewhere. And what they sort of will make sure, and the president of there will never lose the election, you know right? You don't know how to treat your citizen. Korean is a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. We feel Korean born. And you want to beat them on anybody, say, but not everybody could sustain and could take the victimization, watching our curveball, our domestic drains. Watching the industrial tunnels and them not being competed and not being and being looking like we living nowhere. For instance, when you go through Train City, what you colors? What you walk with? Then when you walk through Bitam and these places, and I must say, great is the PNM. Korean is my nephew, and anytime we should go independent, what we advocate for? You gotta ask me now. If you put Korean in his place, you vote for him, I said, I'm my nephew. I said, that is my nephew. I will in here, in that, but always thicker than water. So you see, you ever get color from the UNC? It take Dr. Munila alone to take some booklets in the beatum. It take Wall Street, what she says, I will take 3. Will you leave me? Will you tell me? I must come here and say, Korean should go for the PNM, Korean should go independent.
Going man is to sell juice. Going man learn. They can't spell or read in our house, they better you ain't coming. Going grandfather and others never make joke. And going mother make sure he study, he learn. So no PNM get going, I think going is a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Or with the PNM or the UNC, we are citizens of this country. And there's too much illness going on. We need to talk about Rowley, dancing with Delcy. We need to talk about the first thing you came in office. What you did? You bought Casabon painting. And we need to talk about the 100 million missing in fake oil. What about the 100 million for the your communities? The crime communities. What about the 100 million? But we have 50 million for dancing and dining and fitting. We need to talk about these things. I cannot say great is the PNM when children laptop were taken back from them. I cannot say great is the PNM when you see people mixing bay leaf and lime and picking bay leaf and then putting in a bag and accidentally over bay leaf and then pass. I can say great is the PNM when I see people packing out how many boxes are underwear and bras and thing and number one selling when they come and have a pack up. I must say great to see PNM when I see Sunday evening people with a food stuff pack up on Charlotte Street. Still, Oko spoiling. Green picture and post. That never happened below Camilla times. I must say great to see PNM when none of the AC units, all the rooms are equipped with AC. Camilla left it so. The PNM probably vote, only vote for PNM and they beat them. And none of the AC units are working. I must tell going back for the PNM. You should go independent. And you, Isha, you support to when you're ready, you know. I don't know what happened to you. What wrong with you? What are you talking about? Isha, you want to come to the meeting with no security and nobody trying to know what tell you? Neither Dr. Monilal or nobody who concerned or who sick the youth centers, who sick the children.
Anderson, your connection getting poor. Let's see call dropping. Aisha, you hearing him?
Yeah. No, I can't hear him anymore, but Anderson, you have said a mouthful.
Yeah, he said enough.
Passionate. You're very, very passionate about what it is you're saying, and I respect the fact that you always lobby for people from Beetham and Mover. Every time there's something happening in some area, Anderson is the first person to come out and say something. So I always respect Anderson for that. He don't play with Beetham people. He don't play.
Call dropped.
Okay. We just have about 29 more minutes at the top of the hour. We're taking your calls, guys. Get in on the conversation before we come to the end of the show and the end of my stint as co-host with Tommy.
I suspect we're gonna have to have you back, you know. Paul?
Pleasant good evening to you, Tommy.
Good evening
to Aisha, and good evening to the United States of America and my sweet Trinidad and Tobago country. How are you this afternoon?
All's well. How about you?
Well, Paul.
I'm good, actually.
What's on your mind?
Well, I listened to the sentiments shared by this forum, and I must state that, you know, we all go through trials in our own personal lives as well as the socioeconomics in this country, right? And I'm not going to sit here today and say, okay, great is the PNM, proud of UNC, that kind of thing, right? I'm simply trying to be balanced in where the where the country is concerned, right? And I am not a favorite of Dr. Key Christopher Rowley, but what I can say, though, that he implement preventative measures in order for our country not to fall flat on the surface. And what I realize, Aisha and Tommy, is that the budget that has passed and the Standing Finance Committee, right? Those two bodies was able to show the citizenry and the population that, hey, this is accountability, this is transparency. Governing a country is no running of a parlor, right? And when you looked at the late Patrick Manning, he stated that Trinidad and Tobago isn't an easy country to govern. And that is why he continues to give Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley a run for his dollar. But now that Dr. Rowley is the leader of the party and also the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he feels the blunt of what the past Prime Minister was saying in terms of Mr. Manning, right? And as I previously mentioned, it is not a parlor we are running in the ghetto. We are running a country. There's transparency and accountability. That is why we were supposed to question things prior to the Standing Finance Committee, right? And you know who is feeling all the pain? The small man on the ground. But you know what happened? We also have to tighten our belts. We also have to eat little and live long so that our future generation could benefit the sacrifice that the Prime Minister and the government is presently making, right? For instance, I don't want to use your children as an example, but children of the future generation will reap the benefit of what the sacrifices that we, the government and Trinidad and Tobago, are making right now. And if we could get that in our brain, we would understand the works of the PNM and we will understand the works of government. And when I say government, it does not necessarily mean the PNM government, but in all government. When you looked at Grenada, when you looked at and other countries, they are also making the sacrifices from since COVID-19 to now, because COVID-19 had crippled many economies around the world, including the Caribbean region. You know, so that is my 2 cents. If we could understand where we at, and later on, let me say 10 to 15 years from now, we would see where our future generation are reaping the benefits of the sacrifice of this budget and this government. Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.
You know, Paul has to do what Paul has to do. I'll continue to say that every time I hear Paul on every airway.
Correct.
You found hope that he has found in the PNM and this renewance of loyalty, and I will just say Paul has to do what Paul has to do.
Of course. He's doing Paul.
Take the calls if they're coming in.
This is COP.
Kunji, okay.
Kunji.
Good night to you, Uncle Tony.
Yes, sir.
And Isha Welsh, good night to you again.
Yes, Kunji.
Well, I stood down here listening all the time. And after our last contribution, I decided to call in and ask Uncle Tony a question. Uncle Tony, you have confidence or believe what Paul just said, that the hard work that this government doing will benefit this and sacrifice that will benefit the citizens of this country? You believe that, Uncle Tony?
Then sell
Before
me.
you answer,
Then
before you answer.
Then you tell me you're selling the Brooklyn Bridge there, and I'm gonna buy it.
All the hard work and sacrifice we see Dr. Rowley administration working for the past 9 years. We have the worst amount of crime in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We have the most amount of home invasion in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We have the worst road. We have the worst health sector. That is the sacrifice that the PNM government making, Paul. Paul, I thought you just the other day, you say you don't want to have nothing to do with our Black People Party. You're going back with your roots. You're going back amongst your Indian people and them because the Black people and them in the PNM treating you bad and victimizing you. What kind of biasness you coming with on national television and radio? This is not 91.9, which part Trinidad and Tobago here, you know. This is the world listening to you, you know. The world listening to what you're saying, you know. Biasness is only Be amongst human beings. Stop being biased. Come out and say if you get a work, come out and say I get a work, start keeping a blind eye on the things that matters in life. We crossed 500 murders, and Dr. Rowley and them working that sacrifice will benefit the future of this country. Mothers and fathers in this country right now can't even find a job. If mothers and fathers can't find a job, they can help the future of this country. Huh? After nearly $500 billion spent, Paul, do what you're doing and come off of the radio. Are you feeling a PDD party or? Thank you.
Oh, Lord. You're taking it to another level there, COP.
You know, it just caught me off guard that we weren't even discussing the budget or anything like that, and Paul has been saying the same thing for the past few days on every program, you know. And I'm just of the opinion Paul has to do what Paul has to do. He had to do what he had to do. Take the calls.
Yeah, I'm taking the calls, but they gotta. Wow, something strange has happened. Okay, let's see. Thanks for your call. You're live on WZYE.
Thank you very much, Isha. Good evening, Mr. Tommy. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Maloney.
The others and the rest. Yeah. Well, I am one of those who look at so many things. I try to read, I try to listen. Aisha, yes, I missed you on radio, but I understand that, you know, sometimes in life, you have to take a different direction, and this a lot of times have to do with you and what you feel your role and function should be. It's unfortunate, and maybe more than unfortunate, when some of us feel that when you go on a course that you are satisfied that this is, you know, especially if, you know, this is what you believe God wants you to do, that some of us feel that, you know, you've done the worst thing in life. You understand? You've done the worst thing in life because if you were cussing the government, we have no problem. We have no problem with that. If you were praising the government, we have a real problem with that. The name I call that is, that kind of description come from a book called Dotuishness. I always call and I try to also make suggestions. So I ain't come here just to pelt more than to refute things. But I have been looking and seeing so many places, knowing also that one of the issues that we have in Trinidad and Tobago is money. Because the oil ain't flowing like before, the gas ain't flowing like before, but we have more people. All right? So we need to have more money. Now, I know that they might have to go through all kinds of different things if they agree with this. But look how many fire stations, police stations, and other places pack up with government vehicles. Some of them probably not repairable, but they could go for scrap iron and be sold. That could bring in some money. All right? That could bring in some money. So I am hoping that somebody could look at this, you know what I mean, and see if what we can do about this. So many places where you have all these scrap iron, people driving all about buying scrap iron. And look, government has so much there. I know they may have to go through certain things because it's a government vehicle. But I feel that could bring in something. All right? Also, what I have noticed is that, you see, in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of time people like to compare, but they don't want you to compare with what you want to compare. They want you to compare with what you do. And sometimes they lie. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say lying. That is unparliamentary. Yeah, they're not speaking truth. You know, because we have to listen and we hearing that, you know, in Dubai, the good thing nice, in Qatar, and they don't pay taxes there, which is a total stand-up untrue. All right? Not true. Right? But you wouldn't know these things unless you listen to others. And that is what I tell them I have been doing. So I listen to Chance and Bartaria Jr. Yeah, because I want to get the other side. I can't just take what you say, especially when what you say, I realize I measure it up and it was found wanting. Big time, wanting. And what's unfortunate to me and Aisha is that you see in Trinidad and Tobago, part of our culture, the we versus them, that ain't helping at all. And some people eyes so bloody closed, they're not seeing that way. It's not helping. When this one do it, they close their eye to it. That's no problem. That one could, that's okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. But when that one do it, oh gosh, hey, as if the whole world had to fall on them and kill them dead twice. You know? Which is so unfortunate. If it's bloody wrong, it's wrong. Why accept it when this one do it? But when that one do it, oh gosh, come on now, man. I am totally.
He's still on air? Okay, I think it's on Tommy's end. 101 people viewing right now, and we seem to be consistent all evening with the numbers above the 100 mark. I want to thank you guys so much for doing that this evening. And of course, I see all your comments in the chat. Donna Ramlochan, thank you so much for your positive comments. Thank you, Donna. You are an angel. And of course, we are almost to the end of the show, just about 15 more minutes or so to go. Feel free to call us to get in on the program. WhatsApp only, 973-609-6509. Uncle Tommy, you there?
But there is another side to the story.
Okay, great.
All right? So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and I hope that you will have a better and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Maloney. Aisha?
Yes?
It's crazy.
Thank you, Mr. Maloney. Aisha?
Yeah, Aisha, but we're winding down. We only have 15 minutes again to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that person, some of the calls.
Hello?
Yes. Mobile defender?
Am I? No, the reporter.
Reporter.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'm getting the program and I kind of delay because listening to you all on one phone and I'm calling from a next phone. Because there's already contribution I make there. So, as long after I hear it play, so which means I know the delay between. I want to say this to Aisha and the concerned citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Brother Tommy and Brother Walsh, good night to you, sir. And the lady who was here the other night with you all.
Diana.
There is Miss Diana.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Diana, good night to you. That's a strong lady. And I heard a lady talk about the 1970 Black Power movement. I is one of the black men around Trinidad, especially in the capital, always have a middle and job Tracy. Because I the political party I will always support, even though they're not in existence and running in politics. The philosophy of NJAC is what I just operate with. You understand? And an NJAC person could never be a PNM, would not join PNM, and I do have a history of even voting for the PNM. But I want to say this. Now, nothing will be done in Trinidad and Tobago concerning this crime scourge until the PNM demits office. nothing will be done. There will be a lot of talk, a lot of crime talk, but the bottom line is to keep this country how it's going here right now. You understand? The PNM right now, they know what they're doing. So the people of Trinidad, and I'm calling the opposition, remember, the PNM doing so badly, and the supporters and the activists is aware of it. When the bell ring, you don't push aside people that who fighting to get rid of the PNM for somebody who from the PNM come and play in vex. They vex with the PNM, they will not do the job. Or they get mixed up with that is the last 2 elections gone there. The only time you all used strong activists was in 2010. So in order, don't feel that we just wake up and just bring an election and the PNM gone. You have to work them. You have to work them, and the country is ripe. It's ripe right now enough to bring different quality of representation, because there's areas and all these people in the communities and them who have a set of money and always sell a thing and banking up your money. If you all continue supporting PNM, all that money, if you have $100,000 in the bank, when they devalue your money, the money you have in the bank, there's the value to, you know. So the better you all put up together and send up representative in constituency if you all so desire not to ever vote for UNC, or you go independent in these areas, because I will tell you something. You notice Guyana making some kind of headway right now. That kind of headway, we wouldn't be able to meet up with them right now at all if we stay with the PNM. You know. The PNM must be removed from office. And right now, with the kind of corruption over the PNM head, and one of the things the PNM is fighting for right now is to make sure they stay in office to save the Balize House, because Balize House is heavily corrupted. It's state contractors and contract from the state, like the hangover, was what killed Balize House, because there's record of trucks that throwing material on foundation. And I don't think they were just throwing material on the foundation alone. So this is what the PNM fight is all about. Notice the PNM start to go mad already. You have Stuart Young trying to play the resigning for statement he make. Dr. Rowley find some kind of underwear and all these kind of stupidness you're hearing from these people after 9 years. Notice you're going to hear all kind of hullabaloo, so story coming up. But Trinidad and Tobago, each one tell the next one, encourage these young people to come out and vote on the gun thing. You see that gangster war thing to you brothers and them. I wish you all are listening to me tonight. Or they give me a ease up, or they get rid of the PNM, and things will come back normal. If the PNM go tomorrow, the following day, the country will change. Dr. Rowley is a bad influence in politics. Dr. Rowley and Bert and them, they are political blight. You call them political parasite. And Dr. Rowley, them know, if the late Gladiator was around, they would have never even get through to me. They would have never get through, because the only person that's put up a resistance as a Gladiator out here is either myself or Isha on Brother Kingsley. Might try a thing too. You understand? But that spirit, we had also keep that spirit. If we didn't keep that spirit, we'll end up with what's going on with us here right now. So look at what we say or do. The PNM will not fix this crime scourge, and they're interested in carrying up a murder rate that you will never believe in Trinidad. But people of Trinidad and Tobago, hold on. Next year is around the corner, and the duty is to remove Imbert from the treasury and remove Fitzgerald Hines, remove Faris Alwari, remove the whole PNM from our affairs. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago, and the worldwide extension. Aisha, bless up.
Thank you, reporter, and good night.
Bless up.
$85.18. You try and give it another shot. Call back now. Call back now. Right now. Call back right now. Hang up and call back right now.
Yeah. Uncle Tommy, Aisha, have a blessed night.
Same to you.
I hear poor for, yeah, man?
Yes.
I hear poor person well. So them pants and the doctor already find poor go back 1 hour. But yeah, you was crying on the program. He resigned from the party.
Give it 2 minutes and call back because somebody's on the
country how it's going right now,
line right now.
But I try to give you one the body that's called ship bobbies. You know, that man on the ground around 200 because she should have coordinator for URP. She having contract and she having thing. Me vex with she had eat. But we victimizing people like yourself. And I said that black people, so the man the body victimizing black people. Now we got so much of crime and things going on in this country. But we don't bless no man curse. Let them eat now, man. I doctor, so have a blessed night.
Same to you. Thanks. Yeah, if you give it a shot right away, you should get in. But you have to hang up and try it again. Oh, man. WZYE live.
Good night, Mr. Tommy. Good night, Mr. Isha.
Hello.
Live, everybody, meet you.
Good night, sir.
So you see, you listen to a PNM sycophant just now. He called in to see buying battery and scrap iron. Trinkets. You understand? You see what he talk about? And this is the problem. You see, let me tell you what's the problem we facing in Trinidad and Tobago right now. If PNM supporters speak up against the PNM party, they're free to get class as UNC. And that is the thing. But crime is a runaway train in Trinidad and Tobago. When they did the budget and they cut money from national security, that sent a signal to all the citizens in Trinidad and Tobago that they do not care about crime because crime is a runaway horse and they spend less money this year to next year for crime. And this is where the whole population is supposed to say crime affects everyone because in a country, the ease of doing business is not easy no more with a high crime rate per capita.
True.
And that when they cut the funding from the budget for national security and crime is a runaway horse, that was the signal for the whole of Trinidad to unite and stand up and go in front of Parliament and tell them, no, you don't want this. You don't have to be a sycophant for your party, but you have to be a sycophant for your future and for your kids and your grandkids. Look on this, Mr. Aisha.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Florida. We're winding up. We have 5 minutes left. Yeah, Mr. Brooklyn.
Uncle Tommy, good night again. This is going to be my final, entrance on the inside.
Yes,
I want to tell my good friend Anderson, I know you're listening. Anderson, when you're fighting war, you have to understand techniques and strategy. You see, as a footballer, if you don't have no technique, you don't know how to beat, you can't nothing you saw. If Isha come in independent, Corey Marcel already inside, you can't pull him out. We need him inside. We have to have people on the inside to destroy them, Anderson. It's war we fighting. And no war never win without having somebody on the inside or 2, 3 people on the inside. So, when I tell you, Kareem is a PNM, it's not to make you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. It's to make you understand we need him there. Leave him there. Don't pull him from all. He already make his goal. Leave him in there. Don't try to pull him out to be independent. The PNM deadly. They will destroy him. They will victimize him. They will destroy him and they will take back everything they give him. So when I talk, understand, it's what we fighting. Leave Kareem right where he is. Nobody in fighting Kareem. Nobody talking about Kareem. But we want Isha independent. Because Isha going to be the poison for the PNM. You hear what I'm telling you? Isha West will be the poison that the PNM will drink that they didn't accept when they had the opportunity to accept her to make it right for us. So understand my fight, Anderson. My fight different. Right? And the reporter, don't worry with Kingsley. Right now, Kingsley like a potong. You don't know who he is. I always fight him with Kingsley. I don't care who vex. Because Kingsley, 1 minute he's fighting a battle, and you're on the side of destroying the PNM. Next minute it sounds like he and the PNM is good friend. So I already had a time with he. And we will always fight in this political battle until he get it right. You don't even understand where your own head is.
Thank you, Mr.
Right?
Brooklyn. Leave it there. It's time
All
for us
right.
to wrap up. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Uncle Tommy, good night and good show.
Thank you so much.
Until Sunday.
Yes, Sunday. Yes, Aisha. Thank you. And we're wrapping it up. So you can give your closing remarks. Whoever wants to give closing remarks in the chat, they can put it in the chat. And we'll try to get to it.
I am just grateful for the opportunity to hold on here with you guys. I have been missing talk show. As you know, I am trying to get my studio back up and running. We had some camera issues over the last few months, and we're in the process of working it out. So to come here and talk about the issues for the past 2 days was very therapeutic. I must say that. I want to thank your audience for allowing me the opportunity to be here. You know, they are accustomed to having you guys every single evening. So it was like a change in programming to have me here, but they were very respectable and tolerated me, even Mover Defender. And of course, those of you who, you know, want to make a change and you just don't know how to do so, if you come together and do it as a team, you would have a better impact. If you look at your hand, each finger individually has a function, but if it comes together as a fist, it could pelt a mighty blow. My closing comments is a customer is the most important visitor on your business premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work, but he is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. Saying by Mahatma Gandhi. So that one goes out to all you businessmen and small contractors. Keep your head up. And Robert Nesbitt, I will be calling you. Tommy, I'll link you for his.
Yeah, I'll send you it tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Closing comments to you, Tommy.
Yes, I thank you for your closing comments. And now I would say what I have to say. My first one is about, let me see if I can get my thoughts together quickly. My first comment is going to be about curiosity. Curiosity satisfies. Oh man, I gotta think. Just give me a quick second here.
Time and think.
Anyway, I'll just say my standard stuff, which is never you, the man in the mirror. You have to be that change that you want to see. However, if you look at that mirror and you don't like what you see, you cannot blame that mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. See you on Sunday, God willing. Till then, be safe. Love you all.
Bye.
Good night.
Hey, hey,
Tobago, politics was we and them. That was never meant to be so, according to the anthem. But ethnic insecurity was maintained to divide us by some people in the country to sow the seeds of distrust. But we have fought a new system within the community. Now what used to be we and them has now become only we. From now on this nation is we. From now on it is you and I. From now on it is unity. From now on we flying high. All the races have come together to build a better country and create a brighter future for the whole society. The we and them thing is no more, because it is plain to see in this country from shore to shore the community is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. From India and some came from Africa. Look today, their descendants are here, coexisting together. There are others who came here too, the Chinese, Syrians and such. Native people are just a few in this land that we love so much. But the politics of the day and the love for a party cause people to begin to say them is them and we is we. From now on this country is we. From now on we all shall be one. From now on that's how it shall be. From now on all division done. As today united we stand, the people of Trinbago. One country, one nation, one island. Chutney Pan and Calypso. It's Trinidad and Tobago, better known as TNT. And we want the whole world to know we see ourselves as we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. In this nation is no more, and Mother China done disappear, gone away for good I'm sure. If we want to build a relation, there can be no we and them. In spite of ethnic persuasion, all should fit in the system. Side by side we stand hand in hand within the society. This here paradise island, because you and I means we. From now on Lavanti is we. From now on race do not matter. From now on we means unity. From now on we are together. They cannot divide me again, cause we enter a new era. United we shall all remain, looking out for each other. Eric tell me matter they done. Today it is plain to see a new paradigm has begun, and that paradigm is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. Some politicians have tried their best to keep we subdivided, as their policies would attest. And now we are united, using that old colonial scheme. They sought to divide and rule, because if we are not a team, we are more easy to fool. Look, they had us fighting each other, causing misery and pain. Now all these times are gone forever, before never again. From now on Trinidad is we. From now on one philosophy. From now on Tobago shall be. From now on standing equally. No more African, no more Indian. We shall all be citizens, forged together to build one nation. Though we are different persons, done away with the we and them. In this land of La Trinity, whenever
nation is we. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and them. From now on, this nation is we. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we.
The cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity. Good night. See you Sunday, God willing. Be safe.